All right, folks. So go ahead and get started. Let's see if I can mute everyone real quick because someone has an echo. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, all right, we'll roll with it. This is one of those mornings where we're gonna have to roll with it.
You want to just have us mute ourselves?
Yeah, let's do that. Does everyone know how to mute themselves?
I'm sorry, what?
You know how to mute yourself?
Yeah. Mute ourselves. Okay. Somehow. I'll figure it out somehow.
So if you click on your picture.
I got it.
You got it.
Yep. All right. No back sound. Cool. All right. Well, I was just talking to everyone earlier, and I was saying that, we plan and God laughs. And I think this morning was very indicative of that. We have a couple of things going on. So it was one thing to transition everything to, live stream training. That was one pivot we had to do. And now the next pivot is like, how do we seamlessly still, get ready for our 10 a.m. workout, but then still host this workshop at the same time. So we ran into some technical difficulties. I own it. I'm so sorry, everyone. And hopefully we can still salvage this and make this a really great time. We're going to kind of collapse this and shrink the time span because we want to make sure that the 10 a.m. is still able to get started on time. But I want to introduce someone to you guys that's very special to me. A lot of you guys already know her. And if you don't know her, you need to get to know her. Gina Manley is someone who is a client of ours, but also has become a really dear friend and really someone who I admire as well because of her journey and her testimony and her story and all the wonderful things that she's been able to do. She doesn't split any hairs about it. She's human like you and I and has ran into her challenges and difficulties. But the great thing I love about her story is that she's been able to overcome so much. And now she's helping other people on their fitness and wellness journey as a health coach. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to the woman of the hour, Gina Manley.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sig. I've met you, Taylor, and Lisa. I know really well, so it's nice to see you all again. Max wanted me to talk about emotional eating because, that this is the time. This is that we are all under something and experiencing something we've never experienced before, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's sort of chilling when you think that it's like the entire world, really, but certainly our nation. We're all experiencing it on different levels, depending on what's going on in our lives and who's at home with us. So you wanted me to talk about emotional eating and stress eating. And, I'm a lifelong emotional eater, and, give me an emotion and I can give you a justification. I've had friends call me up and say, hey, I want to do this. And I could come up with a reason why they should, like that. There was always a reason to have the ice cream or the pizza or the alcohol or the cake or the cookies. Didn't matter what it was. I could justify it. And I was in this loop but I didn't know I was in this loop. I was just always this way. And I thought that food gave me comfort and would soothe me. And I found that it didn't. Hello, Kathy. It didn't give me comfort. For that moment it did, but then it made me feel worse. And it started to fuel my anxiety because I was eating. It's not like I was overeating celery and salad. I was overeating or going to the things that, again, I thought provided comfort. But it not only fueled my anxiety, but it also, I would internally be so mad at myself. And of course, how did I handle that? By being irritated on the outside as well. My poor family suffered for a long time, but I didn't know that was really what was happening. And then I would eat some more because I didn't feel good and I was upset and I was nervous and I was anxious. And so I'd eat some more because that's going to make me feel better, right? And then it made me feel worse. And I was just in this constant loop. And it really wasn't until I learned how to address that, thinking that the program I coach, I was a client, that it was just about teaching me how to eat. Well, it was more than that. It was changing my mindset and my habits. And one of the biggest things I've learned was in those emotional moments is to stop, challenge, and choose. When you feel that need to grab whatever it is that is your go-to, stop and pause and take a breath. Maybe count to 10. But give yourself that break, because what I found was I never considered myself impulsive, but when it came to food, I was very impulsive. I just did it. I felt the emotion and I grabbed something to make me feel better. And it wasn't until I learned how to stop and really take a breath, take a pause, deep breathe, and then think about what I was about to do. Was that going to really make me feel better? Or was that going to keep me in that loop? And then I would choose. And it's not that I never chose to have whatever the trigger was, but 9 times out of 10, I didn't, because I gave myself that opportunity to pause and relax and really think about what I was about to do and what was that going to do for me. And so then I started replacing that moment with an activity. Maybe it was a loop around the house. Like right now, what else can you do, right? You can take a loop around your house, you can walk around your neighborhood, but that's it. I might take that moment where I'm feeling that emotion that I want to eat, and I'll go to a part of my closet and start cleaning it out. I might work on my office. If you saw my office floor right now, you can see it's a work in progress this week. But I found that if I replaced that emotion to seek comfort in food with a pause, a breath, and an activity for a minute, and of course, lots of water, that feeling of need for food for comfort went away. And it's amazing when you stop and you really address, because our weight and our health is not just exercise and eating the right foods, because we all know the right foods to eat, but it's addressing, why do we do that? When do we do that? And learning to, when you do eat, to eat for fuel, versus I had to get over the feeling that I was only satisfied if my stomach hurt. Why did I feel that way? Again, it all tied back to my emotions around food. And so if during this time you really spend taking that break and really thinking about what you're about to do, you'll come out of this much further ahead than those that are dealing with this anxious time by trying to soothe themselves with something. And put on your jeans. If you are spending your time at home in your workout clothes, in your yoga pants, in your sports shorts, stop. Put on your jeans, because come God willing May 1st, when all of this is lifted, let's hope and pray, you don't want to look back at these last 2 months, which is really what it will have been, and say, oh my gosh, what did I do to myself? And then feel further back than you are as you're trying to address things. Does anybody have any questions for me? No? Is anybody struggling? Oh, Sig?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that that's where I'm at. I lost a lot of weight over the last year, and Max knows about this because he's helped me quite a bit with that. And one of my main concerns during these times is I've been noticing, how much I'm visiting the kitchen a lot more often. Because usually when I'm at work, I don't have that option. I'm working, and the food's not right in front of me where I have to eat it, where I have to, grab it. But at home, working from home, the food's right here. It's so easy for me to access it, to get to it. And so when I have a moment where I can, respond to that, I tend to respond in the wrong way and go visit the kitchen and grab something to eat. And so I'm trying to keep my mind, I'm trying to, like you said, I think I agree with you that I need to start thinking, replacing that action with a different action, like what you're mentioning, take a walk, do something, go out, whatever it is. And what's been really troubling? I mean, the last few days have been nice, very beautiful outside. But prior to this, it's just rain. And so that option wasn't there because it's like, I'm not going out there. But now with the sunshine, it should make it a little easier. So
I'm glad this didn't happen in January and February.
Yeah, we would have been really bad. But I see a lot of wisdom with what you're saying. It's going to take a little bit of practice, though, and a little bit of time to permanently or on a regular basis replace that action of visiting the refrigerator with let me do something else with this time. But that stop and challenge, I think that's a really good thought. I mean, we just never really had a purposeful way of considering it. So now you're telling us, how does it go? Stop, challenge, and what?
Challenge, and choose.
And choose. Okay.
And Dr. Wayne Anderson, who developed the program that I coach, he actually has an ebook called Stop, Challenge, and Choose. And I'm going to email it to Max, and he can send it to y'all. Because it's really a great reminder to do that. And, habits take time to develop. It takes, I really can't remember how many days he says, but it takes daily implementation over the course of like a month or two for something to truly be a habit.
If I can interject on that, some people say as little as 21 days and as much as 66 days to form a habit.
Yep. And so, and really all of this is not about perfection. It's about the effort and making the effort to move to the life you want and the health you want. And the healthier we are now, the better we're going to fight off anything that's coming our way. So,
does anyone else have any questions about stress-free eating or nutrition in general for Gina?
Actually. Do you have any recommendations for healthy at home